kwetu, hakuna wa kuijenga bali ni mimi na wewe. Nchi ni ya kwetu, hakuna wa kuijenga bali ni mimi na hakuna wa kuijenga bali ni mimi na wewe. Ni moyo wa kuzalendo. Nchi ni ya kwetu, hakuna wa kuijenga bali ni mimi na wewe. Ni moyo wa kuzalendo. Wewe mmoja wao, wewe mmoja wao, wewe mmoja wao, wewe mmoja wao.
The value of life in number of years, but in seconds and minutes of needs, which are reviving people's hearts and they think prestige. Maisha hatuyahesabu kwa karne na miaka, ni matendo ya wajibu, sekunde ama dakika yatakayoleta thawabu kwa watu kuyakumbuka. Ndiyo maisha, thawabu na yanayohesabika. Ndugu zangu, hatuangalii tumeishi karne ngapi, hatuangalii tumeishi miongo mingapi, hatuangalii tumeishi siku ngapi. Tunaangalia katika nafasi ndogo ulioaminiwa, umefanya nini kwa ajili ya kuacha kumbukumbu na historia katika watu waliokuamini. Leo tunazungumzia miaka kadhaa katika historia ya nchi hii. Tunazungumzia Watanzania zaidi ya milioni 61. Tunazungumzia bima ya afya kwa wote, kwa kila Mtanzania. Hakuna sababu nyingine, lengo kila mtu afurahie, aenjoy maisha ya nchi aliyozaliwa. Mtu kazi, kinachotokea leo unakwenda kugusa mioyo ya Watanzania. Watanzania kila wanapolala wanaamka wanaulizia kuhusiana na afya zao. Watanzania kila wanapolala wanaamka wanauliza bima ya afya itaanza lini kwa ajili ya maisha yao. Mtu kazi, forum hii ulioitisha leo, unayokwenda kuifanya leo, inakwenda kuandika historia katika nafasi ulioaminiwa na Mheshimiwa Rais. Naomba tumpigie makofi mengi sana. Mtu kazi, haiwezekani kwa taifa lenye rasilimali zote hizi tuwe na uzalishaji wa dawa kwa kiwango hicho ambacho tumesimuliwa. Mtu kazi, hawa ni wageni wako, hawa ni watu wako, wamekuja kukufuata wewe. Waonyeshe matumaini, wape nafasi, wawekeze, tukanusuru mioyo ya Watanzania. Watanzania wanahitaji bima ya afya kwa wote. Watanzania wanahitaji kuwa na amani ya afya zao. Jambo hili limebebwa, tumeliweka kwenye mikono yako mtu kazi. Mtu kazi, nenda kanusuru wa Tanzania. Mtu kazi, ukienda kwenye kila kona ya nchi hii, watu wanasubiri huruma ya Daktari Samia Suluhu Hassan. Ukienda kwenye kila kona ya nchi hii, watu wanataka kuwa na uhakika wa afya zao, na afya zao ziko kwenye mikono yako. Afya zao ziko kwenye dhamana ulioaminiwa. Mtu kazi, wageni wako ni hawa, zungumza nao, wapewe fursa, tupunguze urasimu. Aingie mlango huu, atoke mlango ule, akiwa na certificate yake, aende akaanzishe kiwanda chake, tunusuru wa Tanzania. Hii nchi ni kazi. Nchi ya kwetu, hakuna kuilenga na mimi na wewe. Nchi ya kwetu, hakuna kuilenga na mimi na wewe.
PIT has direct authority to coordinate and fast-track strategic pharmaceutical investment from project evaluation and approval to final implementation decision, eliminating bureaucracy delays. PIAT brings together decision makers with direct authority across policy, regulation, finance, land, energy, trade, investment, and public procurement. This ensures that the decisions are made decisively at one table with a unified national perspective. Through PIAT, Tanzania is creating a strategic window for pharmaceutical investors through transparent, time-bound, and result-oriented. PIAT does not only facilitate decision-making, it monitors implementation in real time. Honorable guests, distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to formally announce that the government has issued and published an expression of interest, EOI, for investment in pharmaceutical and health product manufacturing. The EOI aims at attract local and international investors, facilitate partnership between local manufacturers and global partners, mobilize capital, technology, and markets, and accelerate attainment of international standards, especially GMP and WHO PQ. The deadline for submission is March 2nd, 2026, underscoring our commitment to speed and take decisive action. Honorable guests, distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to outline the key national objective guiding the development of pharmaceutical manufacturing in our country. First, to build national health sovereignty and security. A country that produces its own medicine is better positioned to protect its citizens during health emergencies, natural disasters, or global supply chain disruptions. Global experience has shown that countries without domestic pharmaceutical production are more vulnerable during crisis, a lesson learned during COVID-19. Second, to position Tanzania as a major pharmaceutical producer and exporter in Africa. Our vision goes beyond meeting domestic demand. We aim to establish Tanzania as a manufacturing export hub for Africa, East Africa, and SADC, and the entire continent as well. This will place Tanzania firmly on the global map as a contributor to regional and international health security. Third, to promote the production of modern, next-generation medicines, advanced generics, is not a matter of preference, it is a matter of necessity. The reality is that many medicines available in African markets are based on outdated technologies that have long suppressed in developed countries. Yet medical science is advancing rapidly, continuously, improving treatment quality, patient safety, and cost effectiveness. By establishing modern pharmaceutical industries, Tanzania can transition from being a passive recipient of outdated medicines to an active participant in global medical innovation. Advanced generics offer improved efficacy, better drug delivery systems, more accurate dosing, and fewer side effects. In simple terms, better science leads to better outcome for patients. Let us speak honestly and boldly. Africa, including Tanzania, has for too long been treated as a market for old generation medicine. While these medicines have a role, the world has moved forward, and too often we are left receiving what others no longer prioritize. Africa must no longer be the last destination for yesterday's medicine. This reality has reinforced the perception of Africa as a terminal market rather than an equal partner in medical advancement. As a result, patients frequently receive less effective treatments, even as the disease evolves and demand therapies that are safer, more precise, and more effective. The disease does not still stand, and neither should the medicine we use to fight it. Worse still, reliance on imports has contributed to the circulation of substandard medicine products, medicine that do not meet quality specifications are not manufactured according to good practices. Our lack stability throughout their shelf life, such products do not merely fail to heal, they actively endanger lives. The impact of Tanzanian lives is profound. Substandard medicine lead to treatment failure, prolonged illness, drug resistance, and preventable deaths. For patients, this means physical and psychological suffering. For families, endless financial burdens, and for the nation, lost productivity. These rising healthcare costs and erosion of public trust in health services. Poor quality medicine cost more than money, they cost lives. That is why strategy to promote modern pharmaceutical manufacturing, encourage advanced generics, and enforce international standards such as WHO, GMP, is not just an industrial agenda. It is a national decision to protect lives, improve healthcare quality, and permanently remove Tanzania from the cycle of dependence on outdated and poor quality medicines. This is not about factories alone. It is about dignity, safety, and the right of our people to world-class healthcare. Honorable guests, distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, as we all understand, global competitive pharmaceutical sector depends on coordinated action between the public and private sectors. The government is focused on putting in place the necessary infrastructure, aligning policy and regulation, and ensuring a stable and predictable market environment to support local pharmaceutical manufacturing. The forum comes at a moment, providing opportunity to examine how government-led infrastructure, readiness, and market assurance can support increased local manufacturing, research and development, technology transfer and investment, with direct implication for health security, economic growth, job creation, and industrial development. It is against this backdrop that I'm pleased to announce a major step in Tanzania pharmaceutical industrialization agenda, and this is the establishment of pharmaceutical manufacturing hub clusters at Mloganzila and Kibaha. These hubs are being developed as integrated ecosystems, bringing together manufacturers, regulators, research capacity, and logistic infrastructure in one coordinated platform. This cluster-based approach reflects proven global practice where pharmaceutical hubs have reduced production costs, accelerated the regulatory process, and enabled manufacturers to scale efficiently while meeting international quality standards. To support these ecosystems, I'm also announcing a $10 million a government-backed investment in a shared pharmaceutical laboratory facility, serving both clusters. This facility will provide advanced quality testing, bioequivalence studies, and regulatory support, shared manufacture that lowers entity barriers, shorten times to market, and strengthen compliance with WHO, PQ, and GMP requirements. Alongside infrastructure investment, the government is also committing to a clear policy framework for market protection. For investors, let me be clear on policy protection. Once local manufacturers achieve international recognized quality standards, government will align procurement, tariff, and regulatory instruments to prioritize quality-assured local production, ensuring market stability, predictability of demand, and fair competition against imports. This is the rules-based framework anchored in quality and performance, not discretion, distinguished investors. As I've already stated, and let me emphasize again with full clarity, market certainty is non-negotiable. I will repeat. Market certainty is non-negotiable for serious pharmaceutical manufacturers. Tanzania is not inviting you to invest and leaving you exposed. Once you invest, comply with WHO pre-qualification and GMP standards, and manufacture competitively in Tanzania, the government will actively protect your market position. The government will protect your market position. And this includes structured market assurance through public procurement, preferential treatment for locally manufactured, quality compliant products, fiscal and tariff instruments to prevent unfair import competition, regulatory enforcement against substandard and dumping practices. Allow me to state this point with absolute clarity. No investor will be asked to build factories in Tanzania only to be frustrated by unfair imports. That era is over. I will repeat, no investor will be asked to build factories in our country only to be frustrated by unfair imports. That era is over. And further, we will use all lawful power of the state, police, regulation, procurement, and taxation to protect serious pharmaceutical investments. Importation will not be allowed to undermine, delay, or suffocate domestic manufacturing. Our ambition is simple: medicines made in Tanzania, trusted in Africa, and accepted globally. Therefore, our objective is clear: to make Tanzania a reliable, competitive manufacturing base for quality assured medicines, serving domestic demand while unlocking regional and international export markets. Government is investing alongside the private sector to reduce risk, enhance predictability, and create an environment where capital, technology, and skills can scale with confidence. And this is not a pilot. It is a long-term industrial commitment. We invite you to partner with us. We invite you to partner with us in building pharmaceutical manufacturing ecosystem that is commercially viable, globally compliant, and strategically positioned for Africa's growing health markets. Honorable guests, distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, allow me to extend an invitation grounded in clarity, commitment, and confidence. Tanzania has made a deliberate and irreversible choice to invest in modern pharmaceutical manufacturing as a pillar of health security, industrial growth, and regional leadership. We have aligned policy, regulation, infrastructure, and political will to support those who are ready to build, innovate, and produce. The opportunity before you is not theoretical. The market is real. The demand is growing. The regulatory pathways is clear, and the government stand ready to work with serious partners openly, decisively, and in good faith. This is an invitation to invest not only in factories, but in system that values quality, certainty, and a long-term partnership. For those prepared to manufacture locally, meet international standard, and think beyond short-term returns, Tanzania offers stable platform for growth, expansion, and regional reach. We invite you to grow with us, to produce with us, and to shape the future of healthcare in Africa with us. Honorable guests,
Hello, I am Dr. Vishnu Mishra from Indian High Commission. I am a cultural representative of Indian High Commission in Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, and I am watching ST Bongo.
Tunakurudisha nyuma, way back.
Come on.
Kabla ya scratch the CD. Wakati muziki unaitwa muziki. Turntable na LP. Kali za kitambo. Don't miss kali za kitambo kila Alhamis ndani ya ST Bongo. zinachapwa ngoma juu ya ngoma, hit juu ya hit, mdundo juu ya mdundo, huku tukifurahia mziki wetu kivyetu vyetu.
Waziri ameweza kuliwasilisha ikiwa ni pamoja na kuanzishwa kwa pharmaceutical hubs za Luanga pamoja na Kibaha, lakini hii pia ni hatua ya kimkakati ya kujenga ni hatua ya kimkakati ya kuweza kujenga basi mifumo jumuishi ya uzalishaji na udhibiti, utafiti pamoja na usafirishaji wa dawa. Mtazamaji, tuendelee kuwasikiliza ambao wanawasilisha mada zao kuweza kukuza basi swala zima la uzalishaji wa dawa hapa Tanzania.
To assist investors who are applying for various permits, approvals and licenses. Again, we have a dedicated aftercare service unit to assist investors, especially those who are facing challenges, and resolve them timely. Now, in facilitating investments, we have about 15 government representatives from different ministry departments and agencies, as I've said, and they include the Ministry of Health, to be precise, the TMDA. And some of those services are now automated. You don't need to submit, to bring your applications physically to our office, but you can sit anywhere, log in and submit your application, and you'll get your certificate within a very short time. So already 6 out of the 15 are already connected to the Tanzania Investment Electronic Window, TW. We also have a number of special economic zones, and I'll come to that later in the coming slides. You can go to the next slide, please. So why invest in Tanzania? Some of those reasons have already been given by the previous speakers. So I can skip that because of time. Go to the next one, next slide. Tanzania is well connected in terms of infrastructure. As you can see, the country is connected almost everywhere by roads. And we are now connected by the SGR from Dar es Salaam to Dodoma. Our aim is to connect our country with some of our neighboring countries. Next, please. The next slide shows how efficient our electricity is. So if you want to talk about power or electricity in Tanzania, Tanzania offers the cheapest electricity tariff compared to other East African countries. So you can see how cheap our power is, and once the Mwalimu Nyerere hydro dam is complete, we'll be independent in terms of power, and that will make Tanzania sufficient and export some of that power even to our neighboring countries. We are going to generate about 2,115 megawatts once the dam is complete. Next, please. So we have 4 categories of investments. The first one is for normal investors. If you want to invest as a normal investor, the minimum investment threshold, especially for the local investors, is $50,000 US. But if you want to invest as a foreign investor, the minimum investment threshold is 10 times of what is required by the local. That is $500,000 US, $500,000 US. So you can see how we encourage our investors, especially by reducing the minimum investment capital for them. The second category is for strategic investors. If you want to qualify under that category, foreign investor, you have to meet the minimum investment capital of $50 million US. And for the local or domestic investors, the minimum investment capital will be $20 million US. The beauty with that category is that they enjoy more incentives compared to the normal investors. And all strategic investors, all projects of the strategic investors are facilitated by the National Development Steering Committee, which is chaired by the Prime Minister of the United Republic of Tanzania. But for the first category, the final decision maker will be the Director General of the Tanzania Investment Special Economic Zones Authority. The other category is for EPZ, Export Processing Zone. If one want to have a license as an operator or developer, the minimum investment capital for local investors under that category would be $100,000 US, and foreign investors is $500,000 US. And the same applies to the SEZ. We have the same minimum investment capital for foreigners, $500,000 US, and local or domestic investors, $100,000 US. Next, please. So that slide shows some of the special economic zones that we have. We have a number of special economic zones operated under the TISEZA, and one is the Bagamoyo Eco Marine Special Zone, which is about 45 kilometers from here. And that area contains about 151 hectares, especially in the phase 1. For that stage, in phase 1, we have demarcated the land suitable for size projects containing 151 hectares. There is another one in Kibaha. It's called Jukwaa. That one contains about 100 hectares. And there is another one in Dodoma. It's called Nala. That one contains about 607 hectares. And there is another one in Kahama. It's called Buzwagi. That is mainly for mining activities. But for the first one, for the first 3, that's where those who want to establish pharmaceutical projects can fit in. In Bagamoyo, in Kwala, as well as in Nala, Dodoma. Next, please. Yeah, next. Yeah, so let me go to some of the incentives that are granted to investors, especially those who want to invest in the pharmaceutical sector. First, there is a exemption on capital goods by 100%. That means there will be 0 import duty when you import capital goods like machinery, plants, and related equipment. And there is also 0 import duty on raw materials and a 75% exemption on deemed capital goods importation. And those who want to invest in pharmaceutical, there is also a reduction of the corporate tax. As you know, our corporate tax in Tanzania is 30%, which is charged on profit. So instead of paying 30%, if you invest in pharmaceutical sector, you will be, the corporate tax will be reduced to 20% during the first 5 years of the operation of the project. Next. For those who want to invest in special economic zones, there is also 0 corporate tax exemption. If we invest in those areas that I've mentioned, the corporate tax will not be charged for 10 years, just for 10 years. And there will also be exemption by 100% on issues related to local government levies and the other charges related. There is also exemption on VAT for 10 years. So that's the beauty of, especially for those who want to invest in special economic zones. Those special economic zones have just expired. Next, please. There are also non-tax incentives for all investors who have our certificates. The first non-tax incentive will be on employing expatriates. There is an automatic immigration quota which goes up to 10 that you are allowed to employ them without any restriction. You can employ up to 10 foreign expatriates if you hold our certificate. But if you want to add more foreign expatriates, that is allowed, but it should be in a ratio of 1 to 10. You bring 1 more foreign expatriate, you create 10 more jobs to our staff, local staff. So that is the first non-tax incentive. The other one is on access to international arbitration. Once you are registered here, you will be protected. Why? Because Tanzania is a member of a multilateral investment guarantee agency. You also have access to International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. And that itself gives investors, especially foreign investors, confidence why they should invest here because they'll be protected. The other non-tax incentive is on transferability of profit. Once you are here and you make a profit and you want to transfer that profit from Tanzania to any foreign country, it is allowed, provided that you pay all taxes, you'll be allowed to transfer that profit to wherever you want. And you will also have access to our one-stop facilitation center, which I've just explained. And if you want to own land, because foreign investors are not allowed to own land, except that land is for investment, and you have to undergo a process to have the derivative right or the derivative title. So you can have the derivative right to a maximum period of 98 years, just 1 year less. 1 year less because the title in Tanzania is granted for maximum of 99 years. So instead of being given for 99 years, you'll be given for 98 years. Next, please. So those are the facts why you should invest in the pharmaceuticals. As we all know, Tanzania spends a lot of money on importation of medicines and medical devices. We are told that between 85% and 95% of what is imported in Tanzania comes from India and other Asian countries. So we spend a lot of money, and it is estimated that we spend around $1 billion per annum. So we encourage investors to invest in all those areas, manufacturing of medicines like ARV drugs, anti-cancer, and anti-TB, manufacturing of medical devices, and related equipment. Next, please. So this is the last slide, which shows the status of investments in the pharmaceutical sector, especially for the past 5 years. You can see that during the last 5 years, we only registered 32 investment projects in the pharmaceutical sector. And those projects were estimated to create jobs up to 5,017. And the value was 191 million US dollar. So you can see that we still have a lot to do to encourage more investments in this sector. Up to this point, let me thank you everyone for your attention. Thank you very much.
Let's add another round of applause to him, please. Thank you so much. Ninaomba kwa technical team iliyopo nje sasa, tuliambiwa wanataka kubadilisha mkondo wa umeme kwenda kwenye umeme wa standby generator ili kusitokee zile ruptures zilizotokeza hapa dakika chache zilizopita. Kwa hivyo ninaomba uvumilivu wa kama dakika 2 fulani hivi, wanabadilisha chanzo cha umeme. Technical team, ninatumai mnanisikia huko nje. We're going to change the source of the electricity we are using in here. So we will be having a silence of at least 1.5 minutes. So I cordially ask for your forgiveness for this. Thank you so very much. Ninaomba tafadhali wanaobadilisha umeme mniambie, mnipe ishara kama tumeshamaliza ama tupo tayari, ili tuepuke ule usumbufu. Lakini wakati
kama unaendelea kututazama kupitia YouTube channel yetu ya ST Bongo na TV ya ST Bongo, hiki kinachoendelea hapa mbele yako ni kukuza sekta ya afya katika kuzalisha dawa hapa kwetu Tanzania. Na siku ya leo Waziri wa Afya Mchengerwa yuko hapa pamoja na wawekezaji kutoka nchi mbalimbali, ikiwa ni moja katika hatua ya kujadili ni kwa namna gani tutaweza kufikia 80% ifikapo mwaka 2030. Mengi yanazungumzwa hapa na sasa hivi ni wanaotoa mada wakizungumza kuhusiana na namna gani tutaweka mikakati katika kuhakikisha basi swala hili linafikiwa kwa ukubwa zaidi. Lakini tukikumbuka katika hotuba ya Mheshimiwa Waziri ambapo alikuwa anazungumza kuhusiana na mikakati ambayo kama serikali imepanga kuweza kuifanya, ikiwa ni pamoja na serikali kudhamiria basi kulinda afya kwa wananchi kwa kuwekeza katika uzalishaji wa dawa zenye ubora wa kimataifa, lakini pia uwekezaji wa maabara ya pamoja ya kisasa ambao unaonyesha nia dhati kabisa ya serikali katika kusaidia wazalishaji kufikia kiwango cha WHO, lakini pia PQ pamoja na GMP. Lakini pia kuna ujumbe kwa wawekezaji kwamba atakayezalisha kwa ubora na ushindani soko lake litaweza kulindwa. Lakini pia amezungumzia masuala mazima ya enzi ya viwanda vya ndani ambavyo vimeweza kudhoofishwa na uagizaji wa dawa duni kutoka nje. Kwa sasa imekwisha. Na mtazamaji, kama unatazama sasa hivi tunaenda break kidogo, tukirudi tutaendelea. Okay, sawa. Ninaweza kuendelea kuzungumza kile ambacho Mheshimiwa Waziri ameweza kukizungumza katika hotuba yake, ikiwa ni pamoja na serikali kuweza kutumia sera lakini pia sheria na mifumo ya ununuzi wa umma katika kuhakikisha ushindani wa haki, lakini pia udhabiti wa soko. Lakini pia amesema kwamba lengo la viwanda, lengo si viwanda pekee, bali ni kuweza kulinda maisha, lakini pia heshima pamoja na haki ya Watanzania kupata dawa salama na bora kwa ajili ya afya zao. Lakini pia nchi ya Tanzania, mtazamaji, inalenga kuwa kitovu cha uzalishaji wa dawa barani Afrika, na dawa ambazo zitatengenezwa ambazo zimeungana katika forum hii kuhakikisha inaunga mkono Wizara ya Afya kufikia adhma ya kuzalisha dawa kwa wingi ili kuweza kusaidia basi wagonjwa kupata dawa kwa wakati. Kuna nchi kama Arab, lakini pia tuna India, Egypt imekuwa moja kati ya watu ambao wanashuhudia forum hii. Tuna German, lakini pia Somalia, lakini pia Sudan. Kenya pia ni moja kati ya watu ambao wanashiriki katika forum hii hapa, lakini pia tuna China, lakini pamoja na Rwanda, ikiwemo Ethiopia katika 1 na 2. Wengi ambao wanazungumza katika kutoa mawazo yao ni pamoja na kuhakikisha uzalishaji utazalishwa dawa, lakini pia bei zitazingatiwa, ikiwemo kuangalia mifumo kwa wazalishaji kiwandani kutokana na kile ambacho watakuwa wanakizalisha, ikiwemo swala la eneo. Kama Kiba inaweza kuwa ni moja kati ya viwanda ambavyo vitazalishwa katika eneo hilo, lakini pia bandari ya Kwala pia imetajwa, inaweza kuwa ni moja kati ya eneo ambao ikatafutwa sehemu na Wizara ya Afya ikawekwa eneo hapo ili kuwawezesha basi wazalishaji kuwa na uwanja mpana wa kuzalisha dawa hizi. Lakini pia serikali inazingatia ubora, lakini pia uthamani, lakini pia ukubwa katika kuhakikisha basi mataifa ama dunia inaitazama Tanzania kama moja ya nchi ambayo itaenda kuzalisha dawa katika ubora wa hali ya juu. Mtazamaji, tutaendelea muda si mrefu hapa kuungana na wanaoendelea kutoa mada. Karibu sana.
Now, spinning off the overall picture of what is happening in MSD, I wanted to share also what is happening with our current in-country manufacturers. Over the past 5 years, there's a very clear increase, a steady increase of how much we buy from the local manufacturer. Reason is, one, there are more manufacturers. Two, the demand is increasing every year. But number three is also the relationship, because MSD internally we had to change, to reform and make very strategic decision to prioritize locally made product. How did we do it? Restricted tenders for only local manufacturers, getting information of any newly registered product, and it doesn't matter what time of the year, we can request. Once we get the information, we can do a specific tender for that product if it's not made locally. Number two is, for example, infusions, we are no longer importing. Despite the price can be 5, 10, 15% higher, we have up to 15% price preference for local manufacturers. We have done that, and you can see we moved from about $6 million per year up to $40 million per year in just 4 years. So can we project now maybe the next 4 years where we'll be? We can be anywhere between $200 and $250 million easily. And the good thing also, we share some of the product that we wish that could be made locally. And most of the generic items that are commonly used now, they can easily be made here because they're either oral solid, oral liquid, or injectable, or infusions. So these are common formulations that we are using. Next, please. Yes. Now, spinning off that, we wanted also to kind of emphasizing on what our minister said, looking at the potential outside there, Tanzania. If we want to have a sustainable local manufacturing strength, and as the minister said, we want to be a hub, I think our strategies should really focus on EAC and SADC, let alone other opportunities that we may even go beyond EAC and SAD and SADC countries. But if you just look at the population of EAC and SADC, it's about 600 million people. 331 on the East Africa, but 450 in the SADC. Why am I saying 600? Because Congo and Tanzania appear in both countries, so we have to minus that one. So we're about 600 million people. Now, if the market is almost 1 billion for just Tanzania, imagine a population 10 times. That means we are talking about a huge business, not less than 10 billion. I don't have the actual figure, but you're talking at a very good potential for mass production in the country. Next, please. And why, again, aligning or relating to working with MSD as a strategic partner? We looked at our infrastructure that we are having a strong distribution capacity. We have zones in the country. Our also storage capacity is huge, but also we are working as a secretary to the SADC pool procurement mechanism, that is an agreement between SADC Secretariat and MSD for all the 16 member states of the SADC. And this is untapped opportunity as we speak up right now. The model that was operating before was kind of MOU opt-in, but now we are forming an SPV, regional SPV, that is purely going to procure for all the member states centrally. And preference will be the locally made health commodities. So again, this is another opportunity, and having the SADC Secretariat stationed in Tanzania, this to me, I think is a no-brainer. It's the best place to invest. Again, with infrastructure, as you know, we are strengthening our railway standards, roads, going up abroad the country. All the roads now are very strong, but also we have air cargo, not only through the Air Tanzania, but there are also private airlines that are doing cargo transportation. And again, our ISO is giving us a boost, but also the strategic procurement with long framework agreement. All our procurement, the whole procurement system that MST is doing now is fully digitized. It took us about 2 to 3 years, but now we are 100% digitized. And we are moving forward, especially with the new system that we are creating. We are going to have a supplier portal, meaning that we have to integrate fully with the manufacturer, and we can even share stock, live stock, that you can even decide how we manage together. We hope by July 1st this system will be operational. Again, we have grown. Over the past 4 years, we've doubled our revenue from 314 billion shillings to 640. So this is just 4 years, the MST revenue has doubled, showing a very steady growth and maturity of the institution. So it's a reliable partner to work with. Next, please. Yes, now the benefit. The 4 key areas that we wanted to emphasize, to sum up what I said in the previous slide. Number 1 is joint venture. Any manufacturing that project that we're having, it has to be done with a private partner. And our preference is to be minority. We don't want to go beyond 49%. And the preferred one is between 26 and 40. We know that in that kind of structure, your representation in the board, your representation in terms of their management or leadership of the company becomes fairer, and in that private sector, freedom is easier, especially when it comes to all other regulatory requirements in terms of administration. The second also advantage is that access of the wider market, but also we have an extensive distribution network. And I want to emphasize on the logistics. From July 1st this year, we are going to have a fully operational MST logistics subsidiary company called MST, we hope the name will be approved, MST Logistics. The reason is we want to go beyond borders. And if you look at the infrastructure of the most vehicles that are transporting medicine now in our region, many are not meeting the WHO standards or the good distribution practice standards. So we are already meeting most of our vehicles, so now we are moving to that. And in this MST Logistics SPV also, we are looking at the arrangement where we can have partnership with the private sector, especially again in the joint venture, so that we can put that flavor and the efficiency that we can adopt from the private sector. Again, then the 4th one is a priority in local manufacturers. Can you go to the next, please? Now, the opportunities my colleagues have already mentioned, and I'm sure Dr. Fimbo is also going to mention the same. So I'll focus on the 4th one, which is supply to public market through MST. I shared about the preferential pricing that we are giving to local manufacturers. We are almost 50% of the market in one contract. So you don't need to go to 8,000 facilities to sell your product. You come to MST, you have one contract. We are the one doing all the risk to send the product to the market that we are having. But again, we are going to UHI, Universal Health Insurance, and one of the most important thing we are seeing is demand will increase. But also MST may have an opportunity, and we are trying really to push to find a way where we can also supply to the private sector. And that will also boost, the market, but the ability of MST to procure and the ability of MST to collect more revenue, hence also reducing the burden that you are going to face by instead of selling to many, many clients, but you can consolidate your products to one-stop pool procurement mechanism. Next, please. Now, I wanted to highlight 3 projects that are already ongoing with MST through our subsidiary company, MST Medifarm Manufacturing Limited. The first one is in Kibaha. It's an oral solid dosage forms. So we have a bunch of products categories that we have arranged. And this is in our 100 acres industrial park. This industrial park, anyone wishes to partner, Honorable Minister talked about the cluster, one in Moganzila, one in Kibaha. This one we're referring to one in Kibaha, where we have 100 acres, and we are inviting partners to jointly invest in this one. So this project was already floated through expression of interest. We have one partner already signed a joint venture agreement. All the paperwork are done now. We are moving towards establishing the factory. But we are not limited to one factory in one area because it's a 100-acre industrial park, so we are allowing more. The next one, please. The next one is about medical cotton. All these projects I'm mentioning here, I've already done the feasibility studies. We have the feasibility studies. And if you look at this project, it's a moderate investment project of about $28 million. through joint venture again, and all the numbers are positive, and we are looking forward to jointly partner with you to run this project. And the next one, please. The next one is examination gloves. This is an expansion project. We already have a gloves manufacturing factory in Makambako, Iringa, Njombe, and now looking at the demand in the country and look at the types of gloves we are making. They are sterile, there are other examination gloves, and now looking at the use of gloves is beyond just in the health facility. They are used everywhere, and the demand, whatever we're having now is not enough. We could even double or triple the capacity, still the demand will be there, just for the country. And these are the numbers that you see. The project cost is about $14 million to expand the current capacity. So this project, I wanted to share the three ones because they are viable through the feasibility studies, and they are open for business, and anyone interested can work with our MSD Medifarm CEO who is here, and then we can see how we can partner. The next one. Yes, now our key aspiration or ask. Number one is our joint venture in manufacturing. This is our primary inspirational aspiration in this forum. But also number two is collaboration through technology transfer, especially manufacturing. Recently, MSD acquired 30% of the Tanzania pharmaceutical industry's factory in Arusha. This is dedicated to its primary, initially we're focusing on ARVs. Already we already started in investment. Last Friday, the new board of directors was inducted in Arusha, and tech transfer is critical when it comes to these very specialized health commodities. And we hope that in technology transfer is also an important component. But also, number three aspiration is for us, is when you invest to the country, you have this access to procurement mechanism, the SADC pool procurement mechanism, the SPPS, but also we have East African pool procurement mechanism, it's voluntary pool procurement. But also at all Africa, there are other pool procurement mechanisms such as the APPM that also can be utilized. And how can you do this? Because we are partners in these initiatives as the government of Tanzania. It's easier once you get this access to this information through PIAT, then for you also to utilize and see how we can help you to move forward. With that last slide, I thank you very much. Thanks. Oh, sorry, just one more. I wanted to project this the slide because it shows where the industrial park is. It's in Kibaha. It's a square area, very, very flat terrain, no hills, nothing. It's already surveyed. We already done the environmental impact, and already there's one factory that was already been allocated. And we are going to put the central utility facilities, waste management, water treatment, water sources, storage facilities, so that we want to have it. You don't focus on things that are, if 10 factories are putting the same 10 investment that could be centrally utilized, it's a waste of resources. So we want to have one-stop center for utility services, and then the manufacturers can focus on producing the product. That is the concept that we are having in Cluster 2, Cluster 1 being in Mloganzila. But also that another advantage of this area is only 6 kilometers from Kuala Dry Port. And that's where all our goods will be stocked and then can be shipped, whether going inland or going to the port for export. I thank you very much.
That's not enough. Let's add some more claps. Thank you so much, Mavere Tukai, the Director General of the MSD. And now, from experience to more experiences, I'm now inviting to the podium one of the person who has been a key figure in pioneering the establishment of an effective regulatory system within the TMDA that has enabled the authority to become one of the best authorities in Africa. This includes attaining ISO 9001 certification and the World Health Organization Maturity Level 3. This person has also further orchestrated the development of a robust and effective system for control of clinical trials in Tanzania, which was in existence before the year 2008. He is a PhD holder at Karolinska Institute in Sweden. He also holds a master's degree in clinical trials, which he attained at the University of London, at London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine in the United Kingdom. Likewise, he also acquired a master's degree in pharmaceutical services and medicines control of the University of Bradford in the United Kingdom. His first degree was Bachelor of Pharmacy, which he did at the Muhimbili University of Health and Allied Sciences, MUHAS. This is Dr. Adam Fimbo, or Adam Mitangu Fimbo, the Director General of the TMDA. Let's clap our hands together for Dr. Fimbo. Karibu sana daktari, tupitishe na wewe kwenye yale ambayo TMDA imejipanga nayo. Barikiwe sana.
I think you've navigated around our website pretty much well. Thank you very much for that. My name is Dr. Fimbo. I'm the DG from TMDA. And what I'm going to do for just some few slides to you, I'll be checking through the regulatory framework in Tanzania, how do we facilitate pharmaceutical investment in the country, and exploring any investment opportunities. Special welcome to our guests, our potential investors and existing investors. And it's good to see so many familiar faces once again. Next. So just a bit on us, we are regulators.
Hapa tuko na Mheshimiwa Waziri Mchengerwa na ametoka kusaini hapa katika banda la MSD, na lengo letu ni kutaka kujua yale ambayo yameweza kutoa hotuba katika kuwakaribisha basi wawekezaji kutoka mataifa mbalimbali ili kuweza kuadhimisha basi kufikia 80% na kupitiliza. Mheshimiwa, habari yako?
Nzuri.
Si jambo. Tunatazamia kufikia 30% na zaidi ifikapo 2030 katika kuzalisha dawa kama nchi.
Angalau 2030 by 60 to 65%, lakini tunaamini tutakwenda mpaka 80%.
Ndio, kuna swala zima la uzalishaji. Okay. Kuna swala zima la uzalishaji hasa kwa wazao wa ndani. Je, kama serikali mnahakikisha vipi basi kuvunja ile mianya ambayo itashindwa kuinterfere hawa wazalishaji wa ndani kama wizi?
Message yetu iko wazi kabisa. Yeyote atakayejaribu kuingilia mchakato huu, tunafahamu wapo ambao watajaribu kufrustrate mchakato huu, hasa wale waagizaji wa nje. Tutapambana nao, na kwenye hili tutarudi nyuma. Na ndio maana hotuba yangu ilikuwa nzito kidogo, na nimeeleza kwa ufafanuzi kwamba tunatambua kwamba kunakuwa na frustration nyingi katika mchakato wa uwekezaji wa ndani. Kwa kuwa hili ni azimio na maamuzi ya juu kabisa ya serikali, maamuzi ya juu kabisa ya serikali, maana yake ni kwamba hata kuwepo mtu yoyote kupinga eneo hili, na tumejipanga vizuri kuhakikisha kwamba tumesimama na wawekezaji wa ndani watakao kwenda kujenga viwanda vya dawa hapa nchini, na tutajitahidi kuhakikisha zile changamoto ambazo zimekuwa zikiwakabili kwa muda mrefu tumezitatua kwa pamoja. Kama ambao umeweza kuona leo, wizara mbalimbali zimeshiriki. Wizara ya Fedha imeshiriki, Wizara ya Viwanda kupitia wasaidizi wao wameshiriki, lakini pia watu mbalimbali wameshiriki wakifuatilia kwa karibu sana mchakato huu. Imani yetu ni kubwa kwamba kwa wawekezaji waliojitokeza leo, kwa sababu hawa si madalali, waliojitokeza leo hawa ni wawekezaji wenyewe, wana fedha zao wenyewe, na baadhi yao nilipokwenda India nilikutana nao, nilipokuwa Algeria nimekutana nao, wapo tayari kuja kuwekeza. Kuna wawekezaji kutoka mataifa ya Ujerumani, Uingereza, kutoka UAE, kutoka India na mataifa mbalimbali, Ethiopia na kwingine, ambako tayari wao wamejiwezesha katika maeneo yao, wanazalisha dawa. Na sisi tunasema kwamba kwa kuwa tumepata wawekezaji wenyewe tuliokuwa tunawakusudia, sio madalali, tutahakikisha mazingira ya uwekezaji au uwezeshaji katika sekta ya dawa hapa nchini na vifaa tiba pamoja na chanjo tunayafanya yawe ni rahisi kufikika. Na tunalifanya hili kwa mimi mwenyewe tayari nimeteua mtu kwenye deski ambaye atahusika moja kwa moja na kunipa taarifa ya nini kinaendelea katika sekta ya uzalishaji wa dawa. Kwa sababu wenzetu walivyofanikiwa kule Algeria wakati wa corona tulikuwa nao sawa 10%, chini ya 10%. Lakini leo hii Algeria wana 85% wanazalisha dawa wenyewe nchini mwao, 85%. Na wamejipanga ifikapo 2030 watakuwa wanazalisha dawa kwa 100% nchini mwao.
Mheshimiwa,
kuna sisi tumejipanga kuhakikisha kwamba tunafika huko ambako wenzetu walifanya maamuzi magumu. Waliunda wizara ambayo inahusika na wizara ya dawa tu, viwanda vya dawa. Kuna wizara ya afya, wizara inahusika na viwanda vya dawa, lakini kuna wizara ya viwanda. Kwa hiyo na sisi tumesema kwamba tuteue mtu atakayesimamia deski la viwanda vya dawa, ambaye yeye atawajibika kwangu moja kwa moja. Pale ambako kuna changamoto, mimi nitazibeba mwenyewe. Si kwa kupiga simu, nitakwenda mwenyewe wizara ya viwanda. Nitakwenda mwenyewe kukutana na wadau mbalimbali ambao wanahusika moja kwa moja kwenye chain hii. Kwa sababu uzalishaji wa dawa au ujenzi wa viwanda si wizara ya afya peke yake. Kuna players wengi ambao wanahusika moja kwa moja, ambao tutakaa pamoja kuhakikisha kwamba zile changamoto tumezitatua na tumezirahisisha ili wawekezaji hawa wasiwe frustrated wakati wa kuwekeza.
Sawa, Mheshimiwa, kuna swala zima la kufikia hasa soko la kimataifa katika ubora. Na je, kuna mpango wote kama serikali kuwapeleka wazalishaji wa ndani labda kufanya scholarship kuongeza ule ubora wa elimu yao wao kama wao?
Kuna viwango vya ubora ambao nimevizungumza kwenye hotuba yangu, tunaita WHO GMP. Viwango hivi ni lazima vifikiwe. Hakuna namna. Wawekezaji wengi ambao walijitokeza hapa nchini huko nyuma, hasa wa ndani, wapo waliojenga viwanda vizuri, lakini vile viwango vya kimataifa, zile taratibu hawakuwa wamezianza. Kama serikali tumekusudia kuhakikisha tunawasaidia kwa kufanya nao kazi kwa karibu, lakini itambulike kwamba serikali na yenyewe ni wawekezaji kupitia kampuni ambayo inasimamiwa na MSD, ni wawekezaji. Kwa hiyo eneo la viwango hatuwezi kucompromise hata kidogo. Tunamtaka kila mwekezaji aweze kupata hati inayomtambua kimataifa ya viwango vya ubora vya dawa, kwa sababu eneo la dawa ni eneo nyeti, si eneo la majaribio. Kwa sababu unapoweza kujaribu ukalifanya eneo la majaribio, unaweza kuangamiza Watanzania walio wengi. Hatuwezi kuruhusu hili hata kidogo. Kwa hiyo tumewataka wawekezaji wa ndani ambao walikuwa bado hawajapata zile hati za viwango vya kimataifa waanze mchakato, na sisi kama serikali tumesema tuko nyuma yao na maafisa wangu wako karibu nayo, ili kusudi kuwapa taratibu, kuwapa maelekezo na kuwasaidia kuamua pale ambapo kuna changamoto. Bahati mbaya mimi ni mfuatiliaji kweli kweli. Mimi silali, ninapokuwa na jambo silali. Kwa hiyo hata hili ninaposema kwamba nafuatilia kweli. Hata ukiwauliza wenyewe watakwambia. Mimi saa 7, saa 8, saa 9 usiku niko macho. Kama kuna maelekezo ya kufuatilia, nitahakikisha nimeyasimamia. Kwa hiyo kwenye eneo la viwango hili ni lazima tuende kwenye viwango vya kimataifa, hakuna kucompromise hata kidogo.
Shukrani sana.
Asante sana.
Sawa, mtazamaji, tulikuwa tunaongea hapa na Waziri wa Afya Mchengerwa, na tumeweza kuyaweka sawa yale ambayo tulikuwa tunataka at least atujibie katika hotuba ambayo ameitoa. Asante sana kwa kuendelea kututazama kupitia ST Bongo na kule YouTube kama ST Bongo TV.
Divas. Malkia kwenye fashion na trends. Jemedari wa mapinduzi ya game. Fundi wa ala na midundo yenye flavor
za moto.
Na hapa tunamvika taji la mwanamke kwenye industry. Usikose kutazama Divas ndani ya ST Bongo. Kenya.
Na nyiwa Kenya lazima mkuwe na msimamo. Kama una noti kuna demo menoki anakuliza kauko na moti.
Uganda. Tanzania. Viwanda. Burundi. Congo. Usikose kutizama East Zone ndani ya ST Bongo.
Hello everyone, welcome to Hello Chinese.
ukisikia kiki
na siandiki mziki naandika hit.
Since nimesign Sony Music sasa hivi mitaani nimekuwa unkwepe couple things.
Hauna vitu vingi man.
Snare.
Rostam kwa hewa kitaki nalewa, ofisini hakuna sheria maana bosi kalewa.